A former Daytona Beach Police Department officer who later worked as a teacher in Volusia County is back in jail after being arrested, released by a judge, and then picked up again on new felony drug warrants, an unusually fast cycle that has now turned into a public fight over bond decisions. Investigators say the case started with a narcotics probe that identified 40-year-old Amber Williamson as a suspected dealer in multiple sales. Deputies say a search warrant was served at a Daytona Beach apartment where she was living, and that investigators found trafficking quantities of fentanyl and other drugs, along with evidence consistent with distribution. Authorities also arrested 28-year-old Marcus Plowden at the same apartment, describing him as a prolific drug dealer. Both were booked on serious trafficking-related charges, and the sheriff's office highlighted the fentanyl seizure as a major public safety concern. The story took a sharp turn almost immediately. According to reporting, after the initial arrest, Randall H. Rowe released Williamson on her own recognizance, meaning she walked out without posting bond while the trafficking case was still active. Days later, deputies moved again. New felony drug warrants out of Port Orange were served, and Williamson was taken back into custody. Local reporting says she is now being held without bond on the newer action, with the case moving into a stage where prosecutors can push to keep her detained pre-trial. At bond court, another judge, Chris Miller, found probable cause for the charges and ordered that Williamson continue to be held on no bond. The court also imposed conditions, including no contact with Plowden, underscoring how closely prosecutors are tying the two defendants together in this investigation. The Volusia Sheriff's Office has been vocal throughout, with Sheriff Mike Chitwood framing the case as especially disturbing because of Williamson's past in law enforcement and her more recent role working around students. For investigators, the central allegation is simple: that someone who once wore a badge later ended up on the other side of the same drug war she used to police.